Have you ever pondered how many bumps and knocks to the head could lead to a silent, degenerating brain disease? It sounds like a plot from a dystopian novel, but the chilling reality is that chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, is a silent intruder, often going unnoticed until it has caused irreversible damage. CTE chips away at the brain, causing memory loss, confusion, impaired judgment, and aggression. As it progresses, it can trigger depression, anxiety, mood swings, impulsivity, and eventually lead to more severe mental health disorders, such as avoidance personality disorder, paranoia, and suicidal thoughts. Over time, it will result in conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's, robbing individuals of their cognitive abilities and emotional stability. CTE is a formidable adversary. It's found in individuals with a history of repetitive head injuries and brain trauma. Athletes, especially those in contact sports like football, are often associated with the disease, but it doesn't stop there. Military veterans who have endured the harsh realities of war, victims of domestic abuse, and many others can fall prey to this silent killer. It often goes undetected until it's too late. This is why it's so vital that we shine a light on this issue, to educate, inform, prevent, and protect. The symptoms of CTE are often mistaken for other conditions, making it a master of disguise. This only adds to the urgency of understanding this disease and the importance of early detection and prevention. Our story today revolves around one such individual battling the silent threat of CTE. Randy, a man whose life has been shaped and reshaped by a series of traumatic head injuries. His journey is a testament to the devastating impact of this disease, but also a story of resilience and unexpected discovery. At the tender age of 13, Randy's journey with head injuries began when he was at school and going to the gym for physical activities, and Randy was pushed at the top of the stairway, flying headfirst over all 11 steps without touching a single one, and landed headfirst on the concrete floor. The picture shows the exact stairway, though it was taken 40 years later, long after the school had closed. Back then, medical technology was not as advanced as it is today. There were no CAT scans or sophisticated tools available to assess the extent of the damage caused by the fall. The doctors could only treat the visible symptoms and hope for the best. The true impact of the injury, both immediate and long-term, remained a mystery. This was a time when the understanding of brain injuries and their potential consequences was still in its infancy. The word concussion was thrown around, but what did it truly mean? How would it affect Randy's life? These were questions that no one could answer definitively. What's more, the incident marked the beginning of a series of head injuries that Randy would face in his life. It was the first domino to fall in a chain of events that would significantly shape his life's trajectory. From this point forward, his life would be a constant battle against the invisible foe that is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. At the age of 16, Randy experienced his second major head injury. Growing up in a rural area, it was common for teenagers to set up trap lines during the winter months, and Randy was no exception. On one bitterly cold day, while out in sub-zero temperatures checking his muskrat traps, Randy slipped on the ice and fell backward onto a frozen pond. The force of the fall knocked him unconscious, resulting in another significant concussion. The harsh conditions and isolation made this a particularly dangerous incident, but Randy's resilience would again help him push through, even though the long-term effects of this second major concussion would continue to accumulate. At 17, Randy's life took another sharp turn when he was involved in a serious car accident. It was a blizzardy evening, and he was riding home with a friend after a basketball game when their car, traveling at just 35 miles per hour, crashed into the tire of a snowplow. The snow was blowing so hard that the driver couldn't see the snowplow ahead. Despite the moderate speed, the impact was severe, throwing Randy forward into the hard metal above the windshield, resulting in another significant concussion. There were no seatbelts or protective padding in the car, and the force of the blow caused immediate disorientation and pain. This third major concussion within just a few years left lasting effects, but, as with his earlier head injuries, the true extent of the damage wasn't fully understood or treated at the time. This marked a critical turning point in the series of traumatic brain injuries that would continue to shape Randy's life. Fast forward to 7 years after the initial stair incident. Randy is now 20 years old and working at Steiger Tractor in Fargo, North Dakota. One day, while on the job, an unforeseen accident occurs. An 80-pound hydraulic cylinder strikes him on the head, knocking him out. You can imagine the shock, the pain, and the immediate disorientation. This incident sent Randy to the emergency room once again, requiring several stitches and yet another diagnosis of a concussion. These head injuries, while individually severe, become increasingly concerning when considered collectively. Each traumatic event compounds, contributing to the potential risk of developing chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, a silent and progressive degenerative brain disease. The danger lies in the fact that it's cumulative and often goes undetected until it's too late. The repercussions of these major head injuries extended far beyond the immediate physical pain and recovery. They left a lasting and profound impact on Randy's life. These injuries contributed to decades of debilitating migraine headaches, forcing him to rely on dangerous medications, years of battling alcoholism, homelessness, and the loss of businesses and jobs. The emotional toll was equally devastating, as strained relationships eventually led to broken friendships, often without Randy fully understanding why. CTE quietly eroded his ability to maintain personal connections, leaving a wake of unintended damage in his social and professional life. Without fully understanding why at the time, Randy's actions, driven by the unseen effects of CTE, caused irreparable damage to his personal connections. Despite his best intentions, CTE quietly undermined his ability to navigate social interactions, leaving a path of destruction in relationships that he cherished. It's a stark reminder of how a single moment can change the trajectory of someone's life forever. But remember, every story has its highs and lows. While we've delved into some of the darker times of Randy's journey, it's also filled with resilience and unexpected discoveries. But we'll save that for the next scene. These traumatic experiences left a lasting impact on Randy's life, both personally and professionally. It was 20 years after his initial head injury at age 13 that Randy rediscovered his musical talents, remembering that he could play the piano and several band instruments from his school days. To this day, middle C is all he can recall, but this rediscovery brought a sense of joy and connection back into his life. This awakening was a spark of joy that lit up the darkness that often clouded his existence. Music reconnected him with his inner soul, giving him a sense of purpose and a reason to smile. The notes he remembered weren't just sounds, they were the rhythm of his resilience, the harmony of his struggle, and the melody of his triumph. Yet the shadow of CTE still loomed over him. Research underscores the importance of preventative measures to protect brain health. Each blow, each knock, each fall, they all incrementally add up. The risk increases with the number of head injuries sustained, whether a concussion is diagnosed or not. This is why it's so crucial to protect our brains from even seemingly minor injuries. So, how do we protect ourselves and our loved ones from this silent threat? The answer lies in awareness and prevention. We must educate ourselves about the dangers of repetitive head injuries and the potential for CTE. We need to understand the symptoms: memory loss, confusion, impaired judgment, aggression, depression, anxiety, mood swings, impulsivity, paranoia, and avoidant personality disorder. Over time, it can lead to more severe mental health conditions, including suicidal thoughts, and eventually result in neurodegenerative diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's. While there is no cure, awareness and early recognition of these signs can help manage symptoms and improve quality of life. We must advocate for safer practices in our everyday lives to protect both children and adults from head injuries. Whether riding bikes, skateboards, motorcycles, or scooters, helmets should always be worn. Young athletes should use protective gear and follow strict safety protocols in their sports, while workplaces must enforce rigorous safety regulations to prevent accidents. In the event of a head injury, immediate medical care is critical, followed by thorough follow-ups to ensure there are no lasting effects. But we can't stop there. We must push for better medical care and research for head injuries, with a focus on early detection and symptom management, which can significantly improve the quality of life for those affected by CTE. Raising awareness about CTE and advocating for change isn't just about preventing the disease, it's about protecting our ability to live fully, to remember, to think, and to experience joy. Safeguarding our minds, our most precious resource, is key. Let's work together to reduce the prevalence of this devastating condition and improve outcomes for everyone at risk. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe for more on brain health and injury prevention.